Good evening, everyone. This is the Auburn School Buildings Committee meeting for October 20th, 2015. It's 7 p.m. now. I'd like to open up with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. Seeing none, moving on to the next is approval of the meeting minutes from the last meeting. Turn the packages and sent out. Entertain a motion to approve these.
I'll second it.
All right. I have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? All right. Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? That's approved. Next up are the general updates. Got Skanska up first with the building and West Street updates.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who haven't formally met, I'm Ben Murphy with Skanska. Not a whole lot to update you guys on this month. I'll go through what I do have. Over the past month, the project team has been working on punch list work. Fontaine continues to push their subs to get their remaining work done so they can get contracts closed out. The bulk of that remaining work is related to lighting control issues and project screen issues, which Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they've been in the past couple of days.
They're in today, they're in right now.
Okay, so they're working on that currently. Fontaine is planning on sending out to the rest of the project team a revised punch list so that we can, well, they can take a look at it with their engineers and then do their back punch, and hopefully by next month we can get that all wrapped up. Landscape issues, this is an ongoing issue that I'm going to let Dave take the reins on after this, but on Friday we met with Joe Fahey, Fontaine, and the owner of Willow Tree, who's the landscape sub. We discussed the issue of the crabgrass on site and talked about what would be the best course of action to establish grass in all those areas that are affected. We all agreed that the best plan is to wait until the spring and then do some slice seeding and overseeding along with a crabgrass preventive weed killer. I believe it's Seed Save, and I'll let Dave get into the specifics of that. So hopefully that won't be an issue next year. West Street project update, not a whole lot on this either. We're basically at this point trying to get the final billing all figured out. I was talking to Mark about it before. We're waiting on an official change order from Balthazar to account for the paving that PJ Albert ended up doing on the road as well as the two lots. So we need that documentation before we can close out the contracts. And Bill Coyle from the DPW said he's trying to figure that all out with Balthazar. Not sure why they haven't come through with any final change order for that yet, but hopefully by next month's meeting we'll be able to tie up those loose ends. Besides that, we just continue to have our bi-weekly project meetings to go over remaining work and try to square away everything for closeouts. Any questions on either the building project or West Street?
Okay. Thank you, Ben. Dave, do you want to jump up just to take?
Just to follow up on Ben's note on the landscaping, I was out here on Friday with the landscaper at Skanska, and kind of a timeline on how it went down. The original hydro seed went down starting in May at the slopes, and then most of the islands and the main entrance area went down later in the summer, July and August. And traditionally when you put that seed down later in the summer, even if you're watering and stuff, that's the season where the weeds really germinate. So when we started seeing those seeds and the grass wasn't coming up like we wanted to, we re-hydro seeded all the areas that we were having trouble in. They were also re-raked so the hydro seed had a better chance to kind of get in there. It was watered, it's been fertilized twice, but again, going down late in the summer with a hot summer, the asphalt, we've seen this many times before where that first season you do get a lot of weeds that grow up in it. With where we are at now and a couple weeks ago, the idea of tilling the soil in order to basically start fresh in the fall, we were advised by the landscape contractors or nursery that if you till that soil in there while that crabgrass is still active, you're basically planting seeds in there before the crabgrasses die. The crabgrass naturally dies basically at the first freeze, so it's our hunch that over this last weekend and over the next couple of days, the crabgrass itself that's out there will probably die. And then we've spoken to the landscaper about a plan for the springtime. And their plan is basically when the ground thaws, we're going to go out and what you call slit seed all the areas. So basically churn it up a little bit again, seed the areas. And then directly at the same time that we're seeding it, they're going to apply a product called Citeron that's a crabgrass control product. It's a seed-safe product. I believe it's an organic product, so that's in line with your requirements for the school. And it's basically a weed control that also allows new seeds to germinate. So it'll, kill the crabgrass that will be dead from this fall, but also allow the new seeds. And then 4 weeks after that, we would apply basically a pre-emergent to stop the crabgrass for next spring, as well as an organic fertilizer. So it's our belief that, with these steps in the spring, the lawns are going to come back and they're going to look good. It's also important to note out there that, continuing, we'll water them and irrigate them as they're being established under the warranty. But, also everything needs to continue being irrigated and stuff to keep the weeds out of there. So that's our update on that. The sod areas obviously came in great. Sometimes, putting them down, like we said, late in the season or in the middle of the summer, you do have trouble with grass. But we, Fontaine, our landscaper, no one is walking away from it until it's complete and looks good.
Okay, thanks. Eric?
So we're continuing to track project closeout documents and punch list work. We've seen at least a first pass on all of the as-built drawings. Some of them have to make revisions. What we like to do is get everything together and then get it all up to a point where it's all approved, and then have the hard copies delivered to us all at once so we can hand them over to Joe, and he'll have a full set rather than do that piecemeal. So that's still a work in progress. At this point, there's still over $870,000 in retainage remaining, so there's a pretty good sum of money there to complete the work. We've done all our back punch. It's all complete, at least as far as a first pass. I understand, we'll be going back and looking at things again after we get notified that the remaining punch list work is complete. I think I mentioned last meeting that we were having project photos taken, and that we have delivered those to the district and to the committee actually tonight. As far as FF&E and technology, that's essentially complete except for some minor remedial work. I know the climbing wall still had a couple of panels, and they've got to put some covers over the exposed bolt heads. There was some, as we talked, some floor damage with the lab washers in the prep rooms, and there was a fix being worked out for that. But, they're relatively minor things. Most of that work is complete. Most of the products have been, in fact, I believe all of the products have been delivered. And I think the big thing we're waiting for there is technology closeout documents. These are things like O&M manuals for all the computers and servers, equipment schedules, product data cut sheets, software installation keys if you have to go back and reinstall software, final test reports. So we're still waiting to see those from the various technology vendors that were hired by the district. I think I reported last time that there was one, we had a configuration issue between the wireless and the media distribution systems. They run on the same cabling system. That has been resolved. They came out and that's been corrected. So those are functioning correctly at this point. And that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions?
Mr. Chairman. Eric, when do you see releasing some of this retainage. I mean, 870,000 at this point is,
It is a lot, yeah.
It's a lot.
We've actually, we've begun to release retainage. And with Skanska's input and review, we're going, going down the list. At this point, as you know, there's 5% retainage
Right.
held on
Right.
typically. Many of the items are down to 1% retainage. There's still a pretty good chunk of money. The major, the ones that have not gone down beyond the 5%, things, the major trade contractors, and those are the things those are the contracts with the major issues that they're,
makes
I
for,
say major, but the most pressing issues.
it makes for a happier situation if the contractor's retainage is reduced accordingly, rather than held 100% to the end of the project.
Yeah, I agree, and we've been kind of following the lead of Fontaine on that as they've made requests. I think for the most part, we've agreed to the request. There were a couple of things that we thought, landscaping was one. That was obviously an issue that needed to be corrected. We don't want to be holding one subcontractor's retainage for a problem in another trade, and we try and avoid that, but
Right.
I think we've been pretty fair. I think we've been, I don't think anybody could accuse us of being,
No, I think most of the,
Unfair.
like Eric said, most of the, for example, structural steel,
Yep.
concrete, people whose scope of work was completely done, months ago,
Right.
their retainage has been much reduced.
Okay.
So the retainage that we're holding still, to the full extent is the people like Eric said, HVAC, electrical, who were waiting on important closeout documentation from, and, once we get that stuff from them, we'll recommend that it's reduced. But everybody who's been off-site, per se,
Yep.
for a while is not, their money's not being held still.
Thank you.
I will say too, experience has kind of taught us that last 5% is the most difficult to pull in, and you really need to be vigilant and
Yeah, but that contract is not here.
and anything else?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I put before you a request to increase the FF&E value. As noted in the document I shared, we actually have 21 additional students this October 1st as compared to last. So we're requesting an additional $15,496.08 for the purchase of student desks and chairs and iPads. Now, what we've done, obviously, we have students in desks and chairs. Now, we've taken them from other areas where we plan to put them in special ed rooms and resource rooms, reading rooms. So with your approval, I'd like to be able to order these additional items.
They don't forget for anything extra.
Make a motion that we
Nothing extra.
give the increase in FF&E for $15,496.08.
Second.
All right. Any questions, discussions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All
Thank
those
you very
opposed?
much.
It's been approved. All right, so now we're on to review and approval of all our invoicing. Getting smaller, but it's still there.
Everybody comes late. Mr. Chairman, if I might, I'd like to make a motion that we pay Skanska invoice number 1311838 PDS 1254743 dated 10/5/15 in the amount of $24,135.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Questions, comments?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That's approved.
Mr. Chairman, I'd also like to make a motion that we pay Lamro and Pagano invoice number 12011509 dated 9/30/2015 in the amount of $20,150.
All right, second, okay. So we have a motion and a second up there to pay Lamro Pagano's invoice. Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It's approved.
Eric, if I might, Mr. Chairman, I have a question. Eric, the application for payment for the general contract 18, you approved it,
It
signed
has
it?
been signed, I just.
So it came in late Friday, so it's
That's fine,
signed since then.
that's fine. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we pay Fontaine Brothers, application number 18, dated October 15th, 2015, in the amount of $429,598.97.
Second.
Okay. Any questions, comments? All right, all those in favor of the paying Fontaine's invoice number 18?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That's approved.
Also, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we pay Albert Paving and Excavating,
PJ Albert.
PJ Albert. It's a little P and a little J.
Yeah.
Invoice number 226468 dated 8/31/2015 in the amount of $125,775.05. That's paving of West Street.
Second.
Questions, comments? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It's approved.
Mr. Chairman, I'd also like to make a motion that we pay Auburn Windwater Works invoice number 036-89800 dated 8/5/15 in the amount of $1,345. That's for 5 manhole covers and frames. Also, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to...
Okay,
Wait.
there's 3 different ones here, okay?
Right, that's separate.
All right. We
I
have-
don't have that in.
It's the third, flip the next page. There you go.
It's 2 of them.
You went to the last one first.
Second.
Okay. All those, questions, comments? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Approved.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we pay Auburn Windwater Works invoice number 036-90400 dated 8/5/15 for 1 standard marked drain cover, $265.
Second.
Questions, comments? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Approved.
Mr. Chairman, I'd also make a motion that we pay Auburn Windwater Works invoice number 036-90500 in the amount dated 8/5/15 in the amount of $268. That's a standard frame and drain cover.
Second.
Questions, comments? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? That's approved.
You ready? These are invoices for FF&E. Make a motion that we pay Sergeant Welch, invoice number 8042658985 dated 9/25/15, science equipment in the amount of $797.30.
We're gonna do those all in.
Yeah, read them all through.
You want to,
Yeah, and then we'll just do it, yeah.
just like we did last
Yes.
Next time before.
I don't have to say I make a motion each
No.
time, so I make a motion, I'm going to just rattle them.
Right.
School health, invoice number 3007347-04 dated 9/24/15, nurses' room equipment in the amount of $3,043.39. Gillette restaurant equipment, invoice number 69181 dated 9/18/2015, kitchen equipment in the amount of $798.18. Bose, invoice number 933-775-1148 dated 9/28/15, music equipment in the amount of $539.92. The next 10 are all Casio, and they're all music equipment. Invoice number 34889 dated 9/18 2015, in the amount of $997.80.
$7.97.
No.
$7.97, what did I say?
997.
Yeah, a little tip. $797.80. Invoice number 343605 dated 9/18/2015 for $97.90. Invoice number 344882 dated 9/22/2015, $5,307.60. Invoice number 343363 dated 9/17/2015, $982.80. Invoice number 345455 dated 9/22/2015, in the amount of $138.90. Invoice number 341505 dated 9/15/2015, in the amount of $444.90. Invoice number 342805 dated 9/16/2015, in the amount of $4,091.70. Invoice number 341119 dated 9/14/2015, in the amount of $2,182.66. Invoice number 340626 dated 9/11/2015, in the amount of $264. Invoice number 347444, not dated 9/28/2015, in the amount of $5,787.80. The next two are woodwind, brass wind, musical equipment, both of them. Invoice number ARIN V27887-529, dated 9/15/2015, in the amount of $38.99. Invoice number ARIN V2803-9479, dated 9/15/2015, in the amount of $454.99. WB Mason, invoice number 128980865, dated 9/2/2015, for a laminator, $1,635.44. The next 9 are Granger Company. Invoice number 9858158-323, dated 10/2/2015, cleaning equipment, in the amount of $112.32. This is all cleaning equipment, so I won't have to say that again. Invoice number 9858158-331, dated 9/10/2015, in the amount of $463.50. Invoice number 9858158-349, dated 10/2/2015, in the amount of $1,285.20. Invoice number 9858227-821, dated 10/2/2015, in the amount of $495.44. Invoice number 9858988-950, dated 10/5/2015, in the amount of $570.85. Invoice number 9858988-968, dated 10/5/2015, in the amount of $5,178.63. Invoice number 9858810-535, dated 10/5/2015, in the amount of $7,073.65. Invoice number 985839691, dated 10/5/2015, in the amount of $2,153.40. Invoice number 985839693, dated 10/5/2015, in the amount of $98.16. Gopher. This is for sports equipment. Invoice number 9064235, dated 10/9/2015, in the amount of $349.83. Barnes & Noble for books. Really? Didn't know they made them anymore. Invoice number 3110681, dated 9/30/2015, $911.70. The next two are Toledo Metal Spinning Company. stainless steel trash cans, and freight charges. Invoice number 54261 dated 9/14/2015 in the amount of $3,385.82. Invoice number 54311 9/22/2015 in the amount of $83.82. Estes, this is a delivery charge. Invoice number 092-1180431 dated 9/14/2015 in the amount of $301.64. The next one is radio oil. This is the fuel for the generator. Invoice number 738539 dated 8/28/2015 in the amount of $927.59. NES Rentals. This is for a genie lift, a scissor lift. Invoice number 4556701 dated 9/17/15 in the amount of $9,912. The next five are all music equipment, and the name of the company is Music and Arts Center. Invoice number 3878380 dated 9/6/2015 in the amount of $44. Invoice number 4902538 dated 9/5/2015 in the amount of $379. Invoice number 3963891 dated 9/10/2015 in the amount of $1,012. Invoice number 3855156 dated 9/5/2015, $445.50. Invoice number 3963446 dated 9/10/2015 in the amount of $9,875. The next two are band shop music equipment. Invoice number 660908-1 dated 8/17/2015 in the amount of $40.03. Invoice number 660908-02 dated 8/19/2015 in the amount of $140.82. The next five are from W.B. Mason. One is a safe, one is a shredder, indoor flag, classroom equipment, credit or laminate, okay. I'll do that one separate. These are the ads. Invoice number 678665 dated 8/28/2015 in the amount of $1,551.60. Invoice number 128626466 dated 9/18/2015 in the amount of $857.97. Invoice number 128639531 dated 9/21/2015 in the amount of $79.99. Invoice number 128072849 dated 8/28/2015 in the amount of $7,322.91. The next W.B. Mason is a credit. Invoice credit number CR2486965 dated 9/18/2015 in the figure is minus $2,493.41. Could you explain what that one was about? Why did we get the credit?
Try to find the invoice real quick.
Says they're not gonna invoice it.
I don't really care, but I just need to know.
No, mailbox post. Mailbox post, there's no invoice.
This one here. There's no- Well, they probably
Shredded right on it.
Spread through the credit card account.
It says right on it what it was for.
Credit.
I'll say, the old middle school doing it.
Good.
That's all good.
Yeah, it's working out pretty good. Just about done, still finishing up with the whiteboards. Whiteboards is the only holdup we had.
Looks like they might have ordered, the
They
wrong,
ordered
they have too many shredders, so they were reducing it by 3. So down to 4.
It says right on it.
So this is the invoice with the laminator, the shredder and all that on it. And so it looks like from the credit, there were too many laminators ordered. So there's a credit of 8
Okay.
in quantity.
Okay.
And the shredder, there, let's see, the original, they had originally ordered 7 and they're getting credit back for 3 of them.
Okay.
So let's hold on to that. So it's not, that's why the numbers are kind of.
So there was.
There's a reduction in quantity.
Yeah, it's a reduction, but they must have ordered too
They
many.
they reduced the amount that they
Yeah.
want to keep.
Yep.
Well, that's, over on this side, we approved paying them,
Yeah.
and I just added it up, and it adds up to the $2,493.41.
Amazing, huh?
What?
Yeah,
You wanna
I
see?
know.
So, we
Okay.
voted to pay them, and we voted to accept the money back. That's
But
okay.
we're trying to be cautious about what we pay for and
Yes.
make sure that we have what we need in, and when it comes in.
You have to have the paper trail.
Right, we're
Yeah.
doing the paper trail, so, and we're going after if we need to get credits, we're getting them.
Joe just wanted a break.
The next one is Home Depot. There is no,
Yeah, so this one also.
Invoice number?
Didn't have an
One
invoice
sec.
number, but there's a
One sec.
receipt.
Credit card number, yeah.
it was a charge card. Dated 8/18/2015 in the amount of $47.44. It's for mailbox posts. The next 3 are from Flag House. PO number 663-939-0104, dated 9/4/2015, in the amount of $22.06, sports equipment. These are all sports equipment. Invoice number PO 663-9190105, dated 9/4/2015, in the amount of $44.12. Invoice number PO 663-551-0101, dated 9/15/2015, in the amount of $790.94. Blick Art Supplies. Invoice number 4952774, dated 9/13/2015, in the amount of $257.75. Magazine Subscription Service. These are subscription for magazines. Invoice number 15830, dated 8/27/2015, in the amount of $829.24. The next 2 are Staples, furniture and a credit. Invoice number 327536114, dated 8/22/2015, in the amount of $875.11. Invoice number 327712930, dated 9/5/2015, in a credit of $49.09 back. Southpaw Furniture. Invoice number 0375230-IN, dated 9/11/2015, in the amount of $597. Robert H. Lord Company Furniture. Invoice number 35 dated 9/17/2015 in the amount of $137.24. WB Mason Furniture, invoice number 677251 dated 8/26/2015 in the amount of $14,852.20. Creative Office Pavilion Furniture, invoice number 14556 dated 9/21/2015 in the amount of $14,691.44. Pro AV Systems Computer Equipment, invoice number 22082 dated 7/28/2015 in the amount of $18,781. Hub Tech Technology Equipment, invoice number 67769 dated 8/28/2015 in the amount of $11,114.79. Wally Computer Associates, Inc., Computer Equipment, invoice number CW-21022 dated 9/11/2015 in the amount of $7,254.93. I'd like to skip down to the last item for a moment. Auburn School Nutrition Department, project costs, invoice number 15005 dated 9/16/2015 in the amount of $591.74. Mr. Chairman, somebody else can read those. Auburn Water District, I have to abstain.
Motion these are both from Auburn Water District for utilities. Invoice number 2167 dated 8/7/2015 for $4,500. And invoice number 2168 dated 8/7/2015, $4,500 for utilities.
For a grand total of,
For a grand total of $159,801.14.
You didn't vote on those two.
We
huh?
need to get a second on the
Well,
water district.
we're gonna do it separately.
Yeah, the water work.
We have to,
Oh, yeah.
then we're gonna have to revise the totals. Hang on a second.
No, I'll.
Yeah. So this is 150,
So it's 150.
okay. So,
Just need someone to do a second on the whole summary.
on the first one, yeah. Okay, so $9,000 on yours for the Auburn Water District, so we need a second on that.
A second,
Okay, any questions, comments? All those in favor? Aye. And one up,
I
any
recuse myself.
one abstention. Those two are approved. So the rest of it is
$150,801.14.
as read. Okay,
Second.
and a second on that one. Questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That is approved.
Good job.
Thank you, Joe.
Something else in
You
this.
left it.
Okay, that takes us through all the invoices. Just our other item on there, any other items people need to bring up?
Is there much left on equipment?
There's some still coming through. What we're doing is we're making sure that, well, the items have come in, but we need to make sure the packing slips are correct. And some of, like you noticed with the credits and stuff, there's items that have come in with WB Mason. We've had a few items that haven't been correct. We've had to reorder or whatever, and so we get credits and make sure that happens. But, so there
School
are,
department and principal are satisfied with?
Everything? Next meeting?
Next meeting will be Tuesday, November 17th, 7 o'clock here. Oh.
School committee actually has their budget meetings on the 17th and 18th.
Okay. Please hold.
16th, I think, is open.
Is it Monday night all right with everybody? The 16th?
Excuse me, that's master plan, and we're gonna tour, so maybe the 19th.
Not
What day is that?
Thursday.
Thursday, the 19th.
Football game?
It won't start, it will be done before it. Okay, so we'll make it Thursday, November 19th,
7
at 7 PM here. All right, there's nothing else? Entertain a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion to adjourn.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everybody.